Are you looking for the best way to clean your makeup brushes? You love to put your makeup on, but you hate cleaning, especially the foundation makeup brush, and you put it in your little bag, most likely without cleaning. In this tutorial, I will be showing you the best, the easiest, the cheapest way to clean your makeup brushes. So very quickly, if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Maria. Welcome to Aglaia Aesthetics Online, where I share, teach everything to do with health, wellness, beauty care, makeup, some traveling in a balanced way. And you can put comments below. If you disagree with me, please do it respectfully. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider it. Click on the notification bell, and so you're not gonna miss any of my educational tutorials. But most of all, you will be supporting me. Do you clean your brushes once a week, once a month, or whenever you remember? For professional use, you must, if you're a makeup artist, you must clean and disinfect those brushes and tools every time you put makeup on a model or a client. Sanitation is necessary. If you do not sanitize, so let's say this is your eyeliner or eyebrow brush, and one model had pink eye, but it's not really noticeable, and then you're taking the same brush and you are applying on another model, another client, that pathogenic bacteria that caused the pink eye will be spread from client to client. So you do want to take your profession and sanitation very, very seriously. Now, let's look at your mascara. Nothing can be touched from product to client to product to client, because the client has her own bacteria. Could be pathogenic or non-pathogenic, but she has her own bacteria. And then you're going to have the bacteria on the spool here, and then you're going to put it right in here. That's not sanitary. Little spools that you can go in only once, apply the mascara, disregard the spool, and then get another one and then do the other eye. Now you might say, oh my goodness, Maria, so everything needs to be sanitized. Absolutely, because you do not want to cause any stress or any inflammation or pink eye or stye to any client. So for example, let's say you're using this, this is an eyeshadow. You cannot get this eyeshadow and get my brush, and maybe the brush is dirty, and you're gonna go like this, and like this, and like this, and like this, back and forth, back and... No, you cannot do that. So there's two ways you can do. One is that you can scrape some of the powder onto a palette. So a different way that I do, I take alcohol. This is just rubbing alcohol. I have in a little bottle. Now, my brushes are clean. And before I start any form of makeup application, I will spray that brush. So you will spray your brush, you spray the makeup, allow it to evaporate, disinfect your hands very quickly. For personal use, on the other hand, you should be cleaning them, your brushes. They're personal, they are for you. So I would say to clean, and I have two ways of cleaning these dirty brushes, at least once a week. Don't stretch it to 2 weeks, because if this is your little makeup pouch and you're putting these dirty brushes in here, guess what? It's going to be, first of all, moist because of the foundation. Number two, bacteria that you have on your skin, pathogenic or non-pathogenic, is going to be closed in a dark place. Perfect situation for the pathogenic bacteria to have a feast. So after you use the brush, so this is personally, I advise for you to get a little disc, and this is every time you use your brushes, it is necessity. And you will spray some alcohol, And then you will take, let's say this is my eyeliner brush, and then you will just quickly clean the brush like this and the handle. It is not clean 100%, but enough for the bacteria not to go crazy. It will prevent for your skin to not to get skin breakouts, and I do have a tutorial on that. Please look at it. That sometimes we have acne, and the only time that you use like a lot of foundation and concealer is when you have breakouts. So guess what? In the specific breakout, you have pathogenic bacteria, and you put your concealer and then the brush, you use the brush for the foundation. You put it dirty into your little pouch. This little brush will not only have foundation, but it will also have bacteria. Don't go and run and buy expensive, fancy cleansers. However, I do have a link below if you do. All you need to do is go into your kitchen or in your bathroom for the solution to wash and sanitize your brushes less than a couple of minutes. The first method that I have is for brushes that are very dirty. So in here you can see the oil and the soap. And what I like to do, get my brush and I will start working with both. So I have both in there, because remember that the oil will break down the grease in here and the soap emulsify. Okay, so now what I like to do for each brush, I like to do this. Can you see what's happening? The oil is breaking down. Look at how it's becoming here. So after a couple of minutes, and please be gentle, you can see that the makeup is coming out. Now, it would make much easier underneath a faucet, but you can see everything is coming out nicely. Brush is very dirty, then I would do this a couple of times. So again, I would go in my mixture and I will do the same process again. But then you can see now the second time the brush is getting pretty clean. Less now makeup, but there's still some in there, but not as much. It's going right into the bristles. So this is the second time with hot water in here, and I go in, wash it off, and please be gentle with your brush. And you can see that the water is not that dirty. If your brush is still quite dirty, then I would do it the third time. And remember, always clean the handle. Never put the whole brush in the water, in the sink, just by throwing in the sink, because what's going to happen is that water will go inside the barrel here and it will loosen the glue, and then your brush will not last as long. This method with olive oil and dish soap, you are breaking down the makeup and dirt inside the bristle, but most of all you are lubricating this. The oil, the virgin oil, is lubricating the bristles. The second method that I like to show you, I use it quite a bit, but it does not wash as well the caked foundation. And what I use is Palmolive or Dove. So in here, this water, hot water, Dove, and apple-cider vinegar. So in here, just to review, there is a capful of apple-cider vinegar, few pumps of soap, and hot water. Now I will put the brushes in, but be very careful that the water does not go above the metal plate, because if the water will go inside there, again, it will break up the glue. Okay, and this one here, and this one here. Okay, good. And I'm going to do this too. And you want to leave them there like this for a couple of minutes, the most 5 minutes. How many brushes you can put into this cup? Lots of them. And if you have tons of brushes, then have a bigger cup. But be very careful that there's not too much water in the cup. So the apple-cider vinegar will disinfect the brush. And the soap, of course, will emulsify if there's any dirt in the brush. And of course, the water is also an emulsifier, has to be fairly hot. Do not, ladies and gentlemen, do not leave the brushes in here overnight or too long, because otherwise the brushes will curve and the bristles will bend, and you don't want to do that. After you have left there for about 5 minutes or so, take everything out, put it over a paper towel, take away. You can see how dirty. So the water was quite dirty, but not that dirty, because I have a tendency to wash my brushes quite a bit. Now what I like to do is under the faucet to rinse, and remember not to allow the water to go up this way or inside the barrel here or the furrow. And I like to gently, in this hot water, rinse the brushes. Okay, you can dry them like this, but be very gentle. It came out quite a bit, and I like to make it pointy, or the way the bristles should be, and I put it down. Very good. Then I take the next one. Now this is the eyeliner and the focus point brush, so they're always dirty. Came out pretty clean, you can see that. And then gently pull them out like this. I love white linen, I do. But you have to be very careful that with white linen or white towels, you have to protect them with paper towel. So you have to be very careful. So how do I dry my brushes? Because now they're quite wet. And what I like to do is put them in a slant downwards. Hopefully you can see that. So I rolled here a face towel, and I put my brushes in a slant like this. And I have my eyeshadow, my foundation, and you leave them like this for at least 24 hours so they dry in a slant. It is necessary. It doesn't matter if you're doing it as a professional or personally. If you want your brushes to last a long time, both procedures are good. The one with the oil and soap, I would do that at least once a month, all the brushes, because that will lubricate the bristles, and so the bristles will not dry out. Okay. Spot cleaning is also very important, that after you personally use the makeup, just use some alcohol, get a little cotton disc, and then you clean your brush with rubbing alcohol. Because you don't want to wash your brushes this way every time, especially for personal use. Now, what about for professional? Well, if you have tons of models and you have a lot of clients in one day, you will have to have 3 or 4 sets of brushes. Because do you want to have, let's say I'm doing the makeup on model A, but you're model B, do you want that brush on you? Absolutely not. Does the model or the client know if your brushes are clean or not? Absolutely, she will. So I would say have the brushes that you use the most, several sets. When I used to do a lot of freelancing makeup artistry with models and whatever, I would have 6 or 7 sets of brushes. And then at the end of the day, so I would use one set, put them away, and wash them at the end of the day. If I had 10 models and I knew that I had 10 models, I would have 10 sets of brushes. You might think that is over the top, but I just feel that if I am the model, I do want a clean set of brushes on me. Do you agree? So very quickly, I do have two methods. One is with olive oil and soap, and I like to have disinfecting soap, and I mix them together and I clean until all the grease comes out, the makeup and the debris. And the other one is hot water with apple cider vinegar and soap, and they're both very good. They have different reasons behind them. I would love for you to put comments below. Let me know how you clean your brushes, both personally and professionally. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Until the next time, take care.